the first snow of the year. I hate the snow. What's up, guys? So it's Saturday night. I do have one more final left to go, and I'm studying for it right now. That final is criminal procedure. That's basically what the police can do and can't do without violating your constitutional rights. So this is basically my outline and my notes that I've been using all semester. If you look down there, it's 83 pages, so a lot of stuff. Paula went to do some Christmas shopping with her family. Her niece and nephew are in from Chile again, so we're gonna head to Chick-fil-A with them in a little while. I'm sorry that we keep going to Chick-fil-A. It's so good and it's so close that we just can't help but keep going there. Yeah, so criminal procedure. I have no plans on being a criminal attorney, but I do find this class very interesting because it is pretty cool to see what rights you have with the police. Just to give you guys a few examples, if you're growing marijuana, I hope none of you are, but if you are growing marijuana in your backyard, even if you have a no trespassing sign, you have fences saying keep out, you have a 40-foot fence, 20-foot fence, so people can't see it as they walk by. If technically a helicopter could fly over that at about 400 feet in the air, the government would then be justified in going in a plane or going in a helicopter over your property to see if you have marijuana, and then they can use that against you. Another thing, technically, if you are arrested and you are not read your Miranda rights, the right to remain silent, anything you said could be used against you, all that stuff. If you confess without those rights being read to you, your confession has to be suppressed. It cannot be used against you. However, if you're not read your Miranda rights and you say something like, oh, the gun is upstairs, and then the police go find the gun can actually be used against you, even if your statement can't. So there's just a bunch of things like that I learned taking this class that, it's not going to matter to me because I don't have any plans on being a criminal, but it is kind of funny that you don't realize how stuff works, and you see now that your rights really, they're more limited than you kind of thought. However, in New York, you actually have a lot more rights than you do outside of New York, so I live in New York, but this is the law under the federal government. So if you guys have any questions, you want online coaching, any legal advice, the email is down. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the email's down below for coaching, but not legal advice. And one more thing that I realized, this one actually applies to a lot of you. When you're driving in a car, or even worse, if you're a passenger in a car, you have a lot less, you have a lot less rights when you're in a car than you do outside of a car, like in your home, for example. So the police, they're completely justified in pulling you over for any legitimate reason and then using that reason to do something else. So if the police fully want to pull you over because of drugs or they think you did anything, they can just pull you over for tinted windows, they can pull you over for not signaling, they can pull you over for going 1 mile per hour over the speed limit. As long as they have any legal justification for pulling you over, they can do that. They can even arrest you for it, and then incident to that arrest, they could search your car, they could search you, they could pull you out of the car, your passengers. So I hope no one watching this video really needs to know this. I hope you're not driving around with drugs, but just so you know, you do have a lot less rights in a car, and this is the one that was the most mind-blowing to me, how little privacy you have in a car. However, if the police want to search your cell phone, look at your text to show that you were texting and driving, something like that, they are not allowed to look at your cell phone without a warrant. They could take your cell phone to make sure there's nothing on it that's dangerous to them, but they cannot search your phone without a warrant. So if a police officer ever says, show me your text, you could say, do you have a warrant for that? Alright, that's enough for now.
Look who's back. Hi. Say hi. Hi.
So it was a nasty day, it snowed, and I thought today was going to be the day that Chick-fil-A finally is empty. But based on the drive-through line, that does not appear to be the case.
All right, what do we got here? Oh my God, look at all the sauces.
You didn't ask for those?
We didn't ask for these, no.
So in the last video, I put down the Apple Store and I said Chick-fil-A always has a pleasant experience. Well, I jinxed it because today was a very unpleasant experience. We waited a very long time. They gave us the wrong sauces. They're not very friendly today.
Oh yeah, look at his.
Pretty good. So what was your opinion on Chick-fil-A for your first time?
Talk to the camera.
It was good.
Yeah, so like I said in there, I was praising Chick-fil-A for like the last week. I was comparing to the Apple Store, saying how Chick-fil-A is always a pleasant experience. I hate to say this, Chick-fil-A, but I was disappointed today. We waited a long time. They gave us the wrong sauces. They weren't very friendly. And I don't blame them because it just opened up and you could tell all the employees were new. So I'm not like mad at them, but it wasn't a pleasant experience. So we're gonna get Froyo now and hope they could make up for the lack of Chick-fil-A experience because it was their first time. It was their first time. It should have been a good experience. What you got?
Salted caramel cheesecake bites, a rainbow cookie, yogurt chips.
That one looks like soup. And there's just the cheesecake bites waiting for the Arctic Zero.
What you got there?
Looks just like Froyo, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The secret is I tried a sample of like 6 flavors at 16 handles for free. And then I have this when I get home. True story. So we're watching Elf because Paul has never seen Elf, not because we're only 5 years old. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight, and we'll see you at the gym tomorrow. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the workout. So the workout you're watching here, it's my bench day. This is the 5s week, so it's pretty much the lightest week on 531. You see here set 1, it's the 190 pounds. That's 65% of my max. I accidentally forgot to hit record on set 2, but that would be 75% of my max. And then I do the AMRAP set. And then something I decided to change on this cycle. If you saw the last few videos, after my AMRAP set, which you're seeing here, I went back to set 2, and I basically repeated set 2 for 2 back down sets of set 4 and 5. But I kind of felt like they were a little bit easier, and although I didn't want to do another AMRAP set, I did want to make them a little bit more difficult. So what I decided to start doing is when I do my 2 back down sets, so here is the AMRAP set, I go back to set 2, but rather than just repeat set 2, which would have been 220 for 5 reps, I decided to match the reps with that weight that I got on the AMRAP set. So here you see on the AMRAP set, I ended up getting 7 reps. So now here on 220, rather than just do 5 easy reps, I'm going for 7, which isn't supposed to be very difficult, but it's harder than it is just to do 5 reps, obviously. And 2 sets of that is a little bit more difficult. So I figured that was a good way to get some volume and a little bit more intensity without really adding any extra time, and that was a good idea. So pretty much whatever I hit on the AMRAP set, that's what I'll do on the back down sets. Some weeks they might be the same number, and some weeks I might maybe on the AMRAP set I only get like 2 reps. So whichever is higher, the amount that I got on the AMRAP set or the amount that I did on set 2, whichever is higher on that, that's what I'll end up using. So that's just a little update on what I've been doing. But if you saw the thumbnail and title of the video, I wanted to discuss free weights and machines. A lot of times you hear people say, oh, stay away from machines, use free weights. But that couldn't really be more incorrect in my opinion. Here, just before I get to that, you're going to see something funny. I'm doing pull-ups, and you're going to see this guy come in front of me right here. And everyone thought he was being like rude by doing this, but I'm friends with him. He's actually a Supreme Court judge. I also had him as a professor in undergrad, and he's kind of influential. He helped me a lot so far with law school and stuff, so he's a good friend of mine. He wasn't doing that to be mean. It was kind of funny. So back to the free weights and machines. Typically what I recommend, if there's a free weight exercise that you're very comfortable doing, that you like doing, you should probably use that over a machine. Here I'm using an incline machine, which the equivalent of the free weight would probably be incline barbell or incline dumbbell. And I've done incline barbell, incline dumbbell plenty of times before, and I've never really felt it that much. this machine is way better. So if you have a machine that you just feel more than a free weight exercise, there's absolutely no reason to use the free weight exercise just because you want to be hardcore by using free weights instead of machines. Here I'm doing barbell rows, and I guess the equivalent of a barbell row would be like a chest supported row or a cable row. And I honestly feel barbell rows more than any machine. That's why I decided to use them. Same here with these Arnold presses instead of a shoulder press machine. But don't get me wrong, if I found a shoulder press machine or I found a rowing machine that I liked way better than the free weight, I wouldn't hesitate to switch, because there's nothing hardcore about using free weights, and machines could actually be better than free weights in certain aspects. You just don't want to choose a machine because you're being lazy, because I mean, it is easier to use a machine than it is to use free weights. So be honest with yourself. Tell yourself why are you using it. Are you using it because you want to save time? You're just lazy to load up you're lazy to find a barbell, load up the barbell, warm up, or are you using it because you actually feel it better? So machines aren't evil. I use plenty of machines. Typically the way I go about it is I do try to prefer free weights. If I'm feeling it's being effective, I will use the free weights. But if it's an exercise that I'm just not feeling, I won't continue to do it. And here's a perfect example. I'm doing cable curls here. I try to do barbell curls for way too long. I never really feel it that much in my biceps. I always feel like my shoulders take over and I don't get that good of a bicep workout. So finally I just decided to say, you know what, let's try some cable curls. And here I'm doing them. They feel 10 times better than barbell curls. I feel it all in my bicep. There's extra tension. You get the better negative. I don't feel anything in my shoulder. So this is a perfect example of an exercise you would think on paper, a barbell curl, oh, it's the mass builder of the biceps. Cable curls, it's not as good. But for me, I think cable curls are actually better than barbell curls. And like I said, don't be ashamed to use a machine over free weights sometimes. That doesn't really apply to like deadlift, squats. I mean, I always think deadlifting, squats, you gotta use the actual thing. You can't use a machine for that. But anyway, this is the last exercise here that I'm doing, tricep push downs. Hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out. It helps the channel spread. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. You should hit that subscribe button right now. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And thanks for watching.